Hi you guys, it is Lauren. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Yes, this backdrop is a teeny bit different. I decided to film in my backyard. I'm trying to take kind of the last bit of light that I can. In today's video, I'm actually so excited. I had an epiphany the other night when I was going to bed and I was like, Lauren, you're a tour guide. You have lots of knowledge about LMU that you can share. And because of this whole pandemic situation, a lot of incoming LMU students aren't able to go to preview day, or they aren't able to tour the campus again, or maybe you don't even know if you want to go to LMU and you weren't able to go tour it. Alas, that is where I come in. In today's video, I want to answer some commonly asked questions that are A, on my tours, and B, that I personally had going into my freshman year at LMU. I'm gonna give a little background about myself just so you guys are like, yo, who are you? What are your credentials? What are your intentions? What are you doing? I am a sophomore, which is crazy, almost done though. So I'm a sophomore communication studies major with a minor in film, media, and TV studies. So I've been at LMU for almost 2 years. I feel like I have a lot of wisdom to share, and being a tour guide, it is part of the job description to just be madly in love with your school and want to brag about it to people all the time. So here we are. I'm really just gonna go over a lot of the points that I have in the same or like similar order that I would on my tour, because it just feels the most kind of natural that way. A lot of these questions are ones that I have when I'm doing my tour, almost always get asked, but also these are just some like facts that I feel like are essential. If you don't know where you are going to school yet and you are considering LMU, I hope that maybe I can help you with that decision-making process. And also, if you're going to LMU, I just want to say congratulations. Best decision I ever made in my whole entire life was to come to this school. All right, so if you didn't know, LMU is a Jesuit school. About 50% of our student body are Catholic, and the other 50% are non-denominational, or they're just other religions, they identify with other religious groups. So I think that a clear message that I always want to get across for students that are considering LMU is that we really encourage and we love different opinions, different ideas, different backgrounds. I think that a lot of people assume that just because we are a Jesuit school, you need to be Catholic, you need to believe in God, and you need to go to church every Sunday, and that just could not be farther from the truth. We do have a chapel on campus, Sacred Heart Chapel. I would highly recommend Googling some pictures. It is beautiful. It's just really important to note that we don't require you to be religious. It's not something that you need to have or need to do or need to believe in to be a part of LMU's community. And I really found that intriguing because I just think it's nice to have something there. It's there if you want it's there if you want to participate, but it's not a requirement. And we are also 6,500 undergrad. So the size of LMU is probably one of my absolute favorite parts about our campus. When I was going through the college process, I thought that I wanted to go like a really big sports school, something like that. But actually the size of LMU is kind of what intrigued me the most. We have a 20-to-1 professor to student ratio, which is incredible. All of your teachers are gonna know who you are. They're gonna care about you. They're probably gonna know a fun fact about you, and that is just something that I could not be more fond of. I love just being able to have a relationship with my professor and being able to go to them with any questions, honestly, and for anything too. Like if I went to any of my professors right now and I was like, I need help me, what should I do? Like, they will be there. And also, I always like to point this out, having a school with 6,500 undergrad, I never walk around on campus and I don't see someone I know. It's so nice to be able to like walk to class, be walking to get your coffee, whatever it may be, and just recognizing someone and just saying, hey, stopping to chat for a little bit. I really like that element because it truly makes it feel more like a community and not just like you're walking around aimlessly through like a sea of people. So now talking about the residence halls, the dorms where the first year students will be living. You do not have to live on campus. 95% of our first year students do. And by the time that this class is coming in, class of 2024, we will have a completely new building filled with residence halls for first year students, which is insane. So you could be in a brand new dorm, be like the first person to live in there, which is unreal. But what I love about our residence halls for the first year students is that they are all grouped together on campus. Our campus isn't terribly large to begin with, and there are a few residence halls that are located just a little bit away, but for the most part they're all in this one community. And I love that because anyone that you run into, anyone you see is gonna be a first year student. So it creates this like immediate bond that you have with all those people where like you're all a first year student, you all are kind of like, what are we doing? And it's just so easy to make friends that way because you can just be like, oh, hey. You also have RAs, which are resident advisors, and those are upperclassmen students that live on your floor, and they're just to make sure everything's going smoothly. They're great people, and I loved having that. They always had like fun little movie nights, like we watched the whole season of The Bachelor in our common room. Like, it's a good time. If you want to see what furniture is provided in a dorm room, I did do a dorm tour my freshman year, and I lived in Delray North, so all of the residence halls are very similar. There is furniture provided for you, so I will link below that video if you guys want to see what that looks like. Also, so often I get questions on how do I find a roommate? Help. Good question. I almost always get asked this. So basically, I like to kind of break it down in two different ways you can go about it. There is kind of the social media route. You can join Facebook groups. I use Facebook, but I don't have an account or any pictures posted because I just don't use it, so I kind of looked like a catfish. So I freaked out and I was like, oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna like go on Instagram. I think I joined this random like match.com roommate site. It was kind of interesting. But you can do that route. You can just see what other people are posting with like the LMU class of 2024 hashtag, stuff like that. I found my roommate over social media and we are best friends to this day. So that's one way you can go about it. You can also go with like the random pairing situation. Now, I know you're probably like, I don't want to do like a random roommate. That sounds sus, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. It's not, because you fill out this like extensive match.com survey, but for roommates, and they're going to pair you with someone with very similar answers, very similar living habits that you have. That is kind of the two different routes you can take for finding a roommate. So the next thing I'm kind of going to talk about is student life. This is one of my favorite things to talk about because LMU is so robust with their student life. It's unreal how many just clubs and organizations and quite frankly how involved everyone is. Like, I always say this on my tours, but I've yet to meet someone that isn't involved in anything but just their classes. Like, that's just like not a thing. Like, students at LMU just want to stay involved. They want to do more for their campus, and that's something that I love. We're go-getters and it rocks. So a huge part of kind of our awesome student life and stuff like that is our ASLMU. One of my good friends actually just won ASLMU president. Shout out Jack Palin. I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, congrats. They put on such fun events. We have Fallapalooza in the fall, which is like a giant music festival. T-Pain came out last year. It was unreal. We have like a Christmas tree lighting ceremony in early December, and that's super fun too. So there's always really fun like on-campus events for students to go to, which I love because ASLMU knows that a lot of the first year students are living on campus, so they want to make sure that there's really fun stuff for you guys to do. There's also the Den, which is like a really cute coffee shop, and all of these places that I'm talking about are in the Sunken Gardens area. So if you look up a picture of LMU, there's going to be the Sacred Heart Chapel, and then there's going to be a giant pretty field of green grass that's just always cut perfectly. It's never dirty. I joke that it looks like Disneyland because it's just like always so prim and proper and pretty, and it's such a fun area. So these locations like ASLMU, the Den, those are right behind Sunken Gardens. And then we also have the living room, which is a room next to the Den. We have like open mic nights. David Dobrik came like a month ago with the Vlog Squad. Super cool. Something that I always like to talk about is LMU EXP. And that stands for LMU Experience. Now you're like, okay, Lauren, what does that mean? I have no idea what LMU Experience is. Well, I am so glad you asked. Basically, your first weekend at LMU, you have registration. So your registration happens right before you start your classes. So like if you start classes on a Monday, if you're probably going to start classes on Monday, and your registration would be like Friday through Sunday or something like that. So basically, part of your registration process is LMU EXP. And basically, all the clubs, organizations, everybody at LMU comes out onto Sunken Gardens, and you have like a set aside time where you can go talk to people and see what clubs maybe that you're interested in, stuff like that, which is so cool because like I literally joined surf club like my first week, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun, and me and all my friends did it, and like it was a good time. I will say though, with LMU EXP, one of the like hardest things about LMU honestly is not getting over involved, because there's stuff to do everywhere always. So like I'm not a surfer, you know? I did enjoy going to the beach a few times, but like pick a club that like you know you're gonna love and that you're gonna go to. And obviously you're not gonna know until you show up, but like I'm not a surfer. I probably never will be, you know? So pick a club that like you're like, I can find my people here. I'm really passionate about this and I know I'm gonna show up for this like once a week or whenever they meet. I also always get questions about sorority and fraternity life, the Greek life at LMU. So I'm a part of Greek life. I'm in a sorority at LMU. If you guys want me to do like a whole separate video on Greek life, recruitment, blah 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 blah, let me know. I'm pretty involved in Greek life, so I could totally do that for you guys. Less than 30% of students at LMU are involved in a sorority or a fraternity, so it's definitely not like overtaking the whole school. We also don't have official houses, so you're never going to drive around near LMU and see a house that's like, oh my gosh, there's Alpha Chi Omega, oh my gosh, there's Pi Beta Phi. Like we just have like unofficial houses where like maybe, you know, 6 women in one sorority are going to be living together, but it's not like a big house where like the whole chapter lives there. So with that, all of recruitment happens on campus, service events happen on campus, all of that. So I just really like that the vibe that it gives. It's not as like insane, stressful process. Like when I was going through recruitment, I'd be talking to a chapter and I'd be like, oh my gosh, look, we're in U-Haul. Like it made it a lot less stressful, I feel like. I also always get questions about like the food. How's the food? How do you pay for it? Everybody at LMU has what's called a one card. You use this one card for literally everything, to get access into your dorm, to pay for your food, all of that. How one cards work is that they have Lion dollars on them, and then they have Flexi dollars. I almost forgot what it was called. So basically, Lion dollars, it's your money for food. It's a 4-tier system is how our meal plan works. So basically you pick L, I, O, or N. I think I picked O, and I got way too many Starbucks drinks, so I ran out, but most people don't. I feel like O is a safe bet, but I don't know how you eat. If you eat more, then go with L. If you don't eat that much, then go with N, you know? It kind of works like that. You can always put more money on your card, but the money that you put on your card does not roll over per year, just per semester. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Like don't put like $2 grand on your card at the end of the year and then like, we'll see ya. It's gonna be a lot of trips to the C-store. Speaking of the C-store, what's honestly incredible about LMU is with your meal plan money, you can literally eat anywhere on campus. That includes Starbucks, my friends. That includes the Habit Burger. That includes Jamba Juice. That includes Einstein's Bagels. We have so many cute little eateries on campus. We have C-stores, which are short for convenience stores. They have produce in there, cereal, milk, like a bunch of different stuff. So it's super nice because anywhere that you see food, you can use your meal plan money to buy, which is clutch. Also, something that is super cool about going to a private school and being on like the smaller side of like a school size is that we have academic advisors. Now you're probably like, again, Lauren, I don't know what that is. Basically, you have someone to make sure that you're on track for your 4 years. They are going to help you with classes that you're going to take. They're going to tell you what classes that you need to take. It's going to be someone that works in your department. So I am comm studies, so my advisor is someone who's in comm studies. So if you have questions about your classes, even before you step foot on LMU, you will have a Skype call with them and they will help you register for your classes, which is so convenient. All professors have office hours. You can go to them multiple times a week, stop by, say hey, ask whatever questions you need. The just student to faculty connection at LMU is something very special and has definitely helped me excel academically. Okay, now I'm going to be talking about sports on campus. Yay! So we are a Division I school, which is awesome. We have a gym that's accessible for all students. You use your one card to get in. There are workout classes taught there 7 days a week, which is awesome. We have a full-size pool. So LMU used to have a football team. We actually were very good. I think we won a few championships. We were a really great football team. However, in the late 60s, early 70s, the College Football League had a rule that no person of color should be allowed to step on the field. And LMU was really opposed to that rule. We were really disgusted by that rule, and we said, we are not going to have a team unless you get rid of your rule. So basically, we got rid of our team, and all of the funding that went to men's football went to women's sports, which is huge. Like, go LMU. Honestly, like, that's just so sick, and I love saying that on all of my tours because it just speaks to just how badass we are. Sorry. But just because we don't have a football team doesn't mean that we don't have a bunch of fun sporting events. Like, our basketball games are so fun. Volleyball, swimming, water polo, baseball. I love going to the baseball games. Like, there are so many sports to go to, so just because we don't have a football game, like ASLMU always puts on like tailgates and stuff like that. So sports are definitely still very prominent and present at LMU. Also, something to point out too, our library has a bluff view. The bluff is an incredible view, and there's also desktop computers in there. If you don't have your own personal computer, we have Mac desktop computers on the first and second floor, so that's really awesome. You can go and use those. It's open 24 hours a day during the week, which, like, I don't really know why they do that. Like, no one should be studying 24 hours a day, but if you need to, if you put yourself in that position, you can do it. The library is also a really great student employer. This is something that I forgot to talk about earlier, but finding a job on campus, they make it super duper easy. Places like the Den, places like the library are super good student employers, and LMU makes it super easy. They have a site called Lion Jobs, and basically you can upload like your resume and like a few facts about you, and then when you're going to apply for on-campus jobs, you just hit apply and all of them can see your profile, which is super convenient, so you don't have to keep reapplying every single time. So they make it super duper easy for you to do that, which I love. I got 2 jobs my second semester on campus, so they make it easy. Sometimes people ask me where they pick up their mail when they are living in the dorms, and you go to pick up your mail in University Hall. It is across campus, but 9 times out of 10 freshman students do have class in University Hall. Almost all of my core classes have been in University Hall, so it's super easy. Just when you're going to your class, you can also just grab your mail too while you're there. So it is a tradition for LMU tour guides to talk about why they chose to go to LMU. Because I could give you the facts and the rundown and kind of the overview of the school all day long, trust me, but nobody wants that. I think it's really important to be open with your tour and let them know like why this campus spoke to you and why it is so special and why you literally applied to have a job to stand on your feet for 2 hours and talk about it. So I'm gonna give you my little story of why I chose LMU. My mom works in career counseling. She's worked at different colleges for over 20 years, and I started touring colleges in like 8th grade. Like, it was absurd. And by the time my senior year rolled around, I was like, oh my God, I don't even know where I want to go. I've seen too many schools. I think I want to go to like a big sports school because I was in student government and I was pretty involved in high school, so I thought that maybe that would be a good mix. But I honestly had no freaking clue. In the fall of my senior year, me and my mom were touring UCLA, but just kind of by chance, LMU was also having an open house the next day. So we thought, okay, well, if we're going to UCLA, we should go to LMU the following day. So we got there, and I always say this, and maybe it sounds cheesy or weird, but I really had an aha moment. I had that moment where I was like, oh wait, this is gonna be me in a year, and I can really picture myself here. So if you haven't had that moment or you never did, don't, be like, oh my God, wait, did I make the, don't, it's okay. But I had just seen so many campuses at that point, and nothing had done that to me, that it was really something special that finally I felt, okay, yeah, I can see myself here. We went on the tour, and I loved how they talked about how easy it was for students to get involved and how close the students were with their professors and stuff like that. And I just fell in love. I thought that it was so cool that my tour guide knew people and was saying hi and the whole 9 yards. It quickly became my my #1 school. But here's the thing. I was nervous because math and science has never been my jam. Comm studies and film is super arty, and you love writing essays and you love being creative. But yeah, math and science never did I excel. And half of standardized tests typically have a big element of math and science. So I was really nervous when I was applying to LMU because I was like, I don't know if my numbers are good enough. I don't know if these letters that represent my 4 years in high school are gonna be, if there's enough A's in there. In the back of my mind, I thought, man, I've been a competitive swimmer for 10 years. I did Girl Scouts, I did NCL, I did student government, I did everything under the sun when it came to extracurriculars. So I put it all on the line and I applied, and spoiler alert, I got in. And I always say this, but from the bottom of my heart, I believe that it is because of LMU's mission statement. Part of our mission statement is the education of the whole person, and it just so happens to be my favorite part. And I feel like they saw me as a student, but they also saw me as a person, and they saw the things I was doing and trying to accomplish, and the good that I was trying to leave for my community and the world around me. And they saw both, and they didn't just see the numbers and turn the other way, but they saw everything. They saw me for my whole self, not just for my academic self. And to this day and for the rest of my life, I will be so grateful that they did, because I have loved LMU from the moment I walked onto campus, and I could not love it more. With all of that being said, first of all, class 2024, I want to say that I'm sorry that this pandemic has really put a damper on what should be such a celebratory time. I know that you've been robbed of time, but I hope that you can find that amazing college experience that you're looking for, and maybe I hope that this video helped you find some clarity in that. I know it's super overwhelming, and I can't imagine making a decision like that in this state that the world is in. But with all that being said, I appreciate you oh, and now someone's chopping their bushes and the sun's going down, so it's probably time to go. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to stick around and subscribe, be my guests, right there down below. Class 2024, I wish you luck in your college journey and picking what school is right for you. And if you're going to LMU, I'm so excited. Find me on campus next year and be like, I watched your video, and I will probably shit my pants because that's so cool that you found me on YouTube. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking, but thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.